I think it's time that this whole slavery discussion gets ended. We didn't own no slaves, and nobody that we know were slaves. This whole slavery, chattel slavery thing was kicked off because of a black slave owner in 1655. He had a slave named John Cassor, or something like that, that said that his time was done and he went to work for a white neighbor. That guy took his neighbor to court and said that John Cassor's uh, labor was his indefinitely. And he won. He won the case. So when he did, that led the way for legislation to go ahead and make it that way, period. But there was another thing that went down. And whenever you go to Google things, they're going to anti-white the motherfucker out of it. So you have to be a little bit smarter than Google. You have to know what you're getting to, or you have to know how to talk to Google to get to things, you know. So when you try to Google it, it's going to tell them all kinds of stupid shit. And we, unfortunately, have to read the stupid shit too. So there was a thing called Bacon's Rebellion. I think it was in 1666, 1676, something like that. But that was white indentured servants, black indentured servants, and regular servants at this point. And just poor people, small landowners, poor white people. They all got together and they ran the fucking governor out and fucking the Capitol and burnt the whole capital city down. When that happened, the planners and the big people, big landowners, things like that, they freaked out. I was like, well, they could do this anytime they wanted to. So England passed out privileges to the whites and non-privileges to the blacks to separate them by skin color intentionally, to assure that the whites and the blacks would never again join forces, because when they do, the governments topple. So they needed that to stop. Now, the problem that we have is that all of the black people will not shut their fucking mouths about slavery. And they obviously don't know anything about it. They wasn't part of it, and they don't even know anything about it. But the fact of it is that Europeans did not go into the interior of Africa and capture people. The Dahomies, Oyos, all of those tribes, the African kings, the elites over there, they already had slaves. They had slaves long before, during, and long after Europeans did. Africans sold over 15 million slaves to the Islamic people. Over 12 million slaves they sold in this direction, but they went to Brazil. It's estimated that between 388 and 400,000 slaves was all that was ever brought to the United States of America by Europeans. There was almost 4,000 free black slaves in America at that time that owned slaves. Do you see how that works? What's the most fascinating about it is that the African slave trade was vastly more great than anything we ever did. They enslaved whites and blacks by the millions. We did not. And we are the ones that freed the slaves. White people freed the slaves. Britain first, us second. Africa would not free the white slaves. So France went to Africa and freed the white slaves from the Africans. So we are not the big bad slave owners. They are. And I'm sick of hearing it. I don't give a fuck. if they were slaves. I don't give a fuck. None. When I wake up in the morning, I do not think about a black person. When I go to bed at night, I'm not thinking about black people. The only time I think about black people is when I turn on any news or social media and I see white people getting killed, raped, murdered, and all kinds of shit by those fucking people. You cannot show me millions of videos where we are out saying, we're going to all the whites and we're going to go and we're this and that and slavery and this and that. You don't hear that. That doesn't happen. People are going, oh, these people being hung. Yeah, you're hanging your own people, killing your own people. It has got nothing to do with us. You had more slaves by the millions. We had less than 500,000 slaves here. And some of those 400,000 slaves here was owned by the 4,000 free slaves here. Only the large planters and the elites owned slaves here. And the freed blacks. As soon as they got free, what did they do? And so whenever we freed the slaves, and then we had all of this stuff going on here about the civil rights and everything, they started Liberia. Or Libya, or whatever the fuck it is. And they sent all of them over there. They're like, here, we're going to create this. You go. You do it. And take care of it. Here's your own fucking country. They went straight there and enslaved the local people there. Very first thing they fucking did. So morally, they are fucking bankrupt. Mentally bankrupt. And there's nothing that we can do to help it. We have tried. We tried and it failed. It's been proven by other fucking studies that that sort of thing does not bring those people up to our level. It brings us down to their level. Right now, scientific studies have proven our brain's way more than theirs. We have a far more developed frontal lobe. Our skulls are even shaped different because of that. And another thing with the sun-loving things, man. The more melanin that skin has, the less ability it has to make vitamin D from the sun. So the more melanin you have, the more naturally vitamin D deficient you are. So the sun must not love you at all. So for all of you people that don't know how to question Google and look things up other than Google and to do any kind of research, I'm going to put the research here so that you can look at it and let it hurt your fucking feelings, because I don't want to hear about slavery again. You're going to bring it back, and there ain't shit you'd be able to do if we did. So let it go. Straighten the fuck up.